In the serene, rolling hills of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, Amish communities thrive in a world where time seems to slow down, untouched by the rush of modern technology. Here, sprawling farmlands are bordered by simple, whitewashed barns and tidy homes, where life is dictated by the rhythms of the seasons and the cycles of nature. The air is fresh, often filled with the earthy scent of freshly plowed soil and blooming flowers, a constant reminder of the deep connection these families have to the land they work and the traditions they uphold. In this peaceful setting, the Amish have maintained an age-old way of life that values simplicity, sustainability, and resourcefulness. One striking example of this is how they recycle and reuse almost everything, relying on methods that might seem old-fashioned but are deeply rooted in respect for the earth. Today, we'll take a closer look at how the Amish repurpose materials, live sustainably, and recycle without the help of modern technology practices that offer lessons in creativity, resilience, and respect for the environment. In Amish communities, recycling and reusing isn't just a practical necessity. Sustainability and respect for the earth. One practice that embodies this value is the Amish approach to clothing. Rather than buying new clothes with every passing season, Amish families repurpose and repair. This practice goes beyond mere thriftiness. It is rooted in a belief that value lies not in the new, but in the enduring. The process of other practical household items. This tradition isn't just about saving money, it's about cultivating a deep respect for the resources they have and the labor that went into creating them. In this way, Amish families teach their children the value of hard work, resourcefulness, and the importance of maintaining what they have. Clothes may be handed down from one sibling to the next, each piece growing richer with time. It's a living tradition that not only reduces waste but also strengthens family bonds and carries on stories through fabric. This focus on reusing and recycling makes it clear that for the Amish, nothing should be wasted, not even a single thread. Describe the process or activity. In Amish communities, the process of recycling and reusing is an integral part of daily life, and it is carried out with great care and attention to detail. The tradition of repurposing clothing provides an excellent example of how this practice is woven into the fabric of family life and communal support. The process begins with the careful inspection of each garment. When an article of clothing becomes too worn or damaged for regular use, it is not discarded. Instead, the family gathers to assess how the material can be salvaged. The task usually begins with the women of the household, often in the warmth of the kitchen or around the family hearth. They sit together, hand-sewing needles in hand, discussing the condition of the garment and brainstorming ways to repair it or transform it into something new. Sisters and mothers play a key role in this process. Young girls learn early on how to stitch, patch, and mend, not just out of necessity, but as part of their cultural upbringing. They are taught that every piece of fabric holds value, and their skill in repairing and repurposing is a form of care for the family. The act of to preserve memories and show affection. When a piece of clothing can no longer serve its original purpose, it is passed on to be reused in other ways. If a shirt has become too threadbare, the fabric might be cut into squares and sewn together to create a quilt. This repurposing not only gives the fabric new life, but also ties it to a larger tradition of communal quilt making. Quilts are often created with contributions from several family members, each piece representing a part of the family's history and stories. The process doesn't stop there. Items that are too worn to be transformed into something else are often composted or used as rags for cleaning or other practical chores. Nothing goes to waste. If an article of clothing is beyond repair or repurposing, it is saved to be broken down and used as stuffing for pillows or cushioning for chairs. In some cases, old clothes are even given to neighbors or relatives who might be able to use the fabric, keeping the tradition of sharing and community support alive. This system of recycling and repurposing is deeply embedded in the Amish values of sustainability and resourcefulness. The entire family, especially the women, works together in an environment that fosters cooperation and a sense of shared responsibility. The home becomes a place where no resource is wasted, and every garment tells a story of careful thought, care, and love. It is a reflection of the Amish commitment to their environment, their family, and their community. In Amish culture, recycling and reusing are not merely acts of necessity, but are practices that uphold their core values. These traditions ensure that family members are continually engaged with the process of caring for their belongings, while also reinforcing the bonds that tie the community together. Through this practice, the Amish pass down not just practical skills, but the wisdom of living simply and sustainably. Specific actions details. The Amish approach to recycling and reusing goes beyond just the act of mending. It is a deeply ingrained tradition that involves specific tools, methods, and family roles. What makes the practice so unique is not just the craftsmanship involved, but the communal aspect and the careful attention to every detail that ensures nothing is wasted. One of the key tools used in this process is the needle and thread, which are always within reach in an Amish home. These are often simple tools passed down from generation to generation. The needles are stored in small wooden boxes, and the threads are carefully organized in jars or cloth pouches sorted by color. For the Amish, these humble tools symbolize the skill and patience required to make clothing last and the devotion to maintaining what they own. The process of sewing and mending can take hours, with each family member taking turns depending on their skill and age. Young girls learn to sew early on, making small repairs to their own clothes. When clothing is beyond repair, Amish families utilize another important tool, the scissors. These are used to cut fabric into smaller pieces, which are then repurposed for other uses. Pieces of worn shirts or trousers are often cut into squares to make quilts, a significant part of Amish culture. Quilts are not just functional, they are also pieces of art that reflect the family's history and memory. Each stitch made on these quilts carries a deep connection to the past, with some quilts incorporating pieces of fabric from multiple generations. The communal impact of recycling is significant. Neighbors often share materials with one another, particularly when a family is in need. An elderly woman might give her worn clothing to a younger family member who is skilled in quilting, or a man might give old tools to someone who can repurpose the metal for another project. This sharing is an essential aspect of Amish life, as it fosters a spirit of cooperation and mutual support. The impact on the broader community is also notable. By reusing and recycling, Amish families keep their environment clean and waste-free, minimizing their impact on the earth. Every item repurposed is a step towards sustainability, and this practice is carried out in the context of their larger values of stewardship and simplicity. It's not about saving money alone, but about honoring the resources they have and using them wisely. This frugality also creates a bond among families as they rely on each other for both material goods and emotional support. Through these specific actions, whether mending, repurposing, or sharing, Amish communities embody the ideals of care, sustainability, and togetherness, ensuring that their traditions continue to thrive in a modern world where waste is often seen as inevitable. Focus on family dynamics. In Amish homes, the recycling and repurposing of materials is a family affair, with each member contributing in their own unique way. The mother is often at the center of the process, guiding her children through the mending of clothes and teaching them the value of using what they have. She not only oversees the daily tasks of sewing and patching, but also plays a key role in organizing the family's resources, making sure every item, no matter how small, is put to good use. Fathers, too, contribute by ensuring that the tools necessary for repair and recycling are well maintained, from sharpening scissors to building workspaces for sewing and crafting. Older children often help by learning from their parents, whether by cutting fabric into usable squares or sorting through old clothes to determine what can be reused or repurposed. The entire family works together, sharing tasks in a harmonious rhythm that strengthens their bond and ensures nothing goes to waste. Impact of the role on the experience. The roles each family member plays in the process of recycling and reusing not only strengthens their practical efforts, but also deepens the emotional ties within the family and community. Children learn from a young age the importance of contributing to the household, and the act of working together in a shared goal fosters a strong sense of unity. When a piece of clothing is passed down from one sibling to another, it symbolizes the care and love within the family, creating a tangible connection to their heritage. The act of mending a beloved item, whether it's a shirt or quilt, becomes a shared experience, imbued with memories and a sense of tradition. This process ensures that everyone, from the youngest child to the oldest grandparent, feels involved and valued, making the act of recycling and reusing not just a practical task, but a way to strengthen familial and community bonds. Acknowledgement of modern adaptations. While Amish communities are deeply committed to their traditional way of life, many have adapted certain practices in response to modern challenges, ensuring that they maintain their values without ignoring necessary progress. For example, when it comes to recycling and reusing materials, some Amish families have begun using manual tools powered by generators or solar panels to aid in tasks like grinding grain or running sewing machines. These tools help ease the workload without disrupting their simple way of life. While they still avoid the widespread use of electricity and large-scale technology, certain modern adaptations have been embraced to improve efficiency and safety. This careful integration of modern practices helps Amish communities continue their sustainable way of living while addressing practical concerns. The Amish approach to adaptation is rooted in their desire to preserve their values while finding ways to respond to contemporary needs. Balance of tradition and safety. Amish communities maintain a strong commitment to tradition, but they also understand the importance of ensuring the safety and well-being of their families. This balance is evident in how modern tools and practices are selectively incorporated into their daily lives. For instance, in the context of recycling and reusing materials, Amish families continue to rely on hand tools and manual methods for most tasks. However, some communities have adopted modern equipment for specific purposes, such as using manual-powered washing machines or air filters in their homes to improve air quality. These adaptations, while maintaining the core of their traditions, help to improve efficiency and cleanliness. Even when it comes to agricultural practices, Amish farmers may use modern equipment to improve productivity, but they ensure that these machines align with their values of simplicity and self-sufficiency. This careful integration of new technologies with old practices highlights the Amish ability to strike a thoughtful balance between preserving their way of life and embracing necessary safety measures. Why it matters. These modern adaptations matter because they allow the Amish to continue living according to their values of simplicity, community, and sustainability without compromising their core beliefs. The integration of certain modern tools does not signify a departure from their way of life, but rather a thoughtful decision to ensure safety and well-being within the framework of tradition. By making careful choices, the Amish community demonstrates that it is possible to maintain peace and stability in a rapidly changing world, ensuring that their practices of recycling and reusing continue to thrive while also meeting the demands of modern life. This adaptability reflects their resilience and commitment to preserving the timeless values that have sustained them for generations. Summarize the significance of the practice. The Amish tradition of recycling and reusing reflects a deep-rooted respect for the environment and a commitment to sustainability while preserving the strong bonds of family and community. These practices are more than just resourcefulness, they represent a way of life that is intimately connected to the land and to one another. Through careful, mindful living, the Amish teach us the importance of using what we have and finding value in even the smallest of things. In a world that often prioritizes convenience and consumption, their practices offer a profound reminder of the dignity found in simplicity and careful stewardship of resources. Universal lesson or insight. The Amish way of life offers a valuable lesson about the importance of slowing down and being intentional in our choices. In a fast-paced world that often celebrates excess and speed, the Amish remind us that there is beauty in simplicity and strength in tradition. Their approach to recycling and reusing shows us how taking the time to repair, repurpose, and make do with what we have can create more sustainable and meaningful lives. It is not about rejecting progress, but about embracing a way of living that is thoughtful, connected, and grounded in values that transcend the trends of modern life. In this, the Amish provide a blueprint for creating a life that is not just efficient, but also rich in purpose and community. Final thought, call to action. What would it look like if we slowed down, reclaimed the value of reuse, and nurtured deeper connections within our own communities? The Amish way teaches us that there is wisdom in embracing patience and intention. As we reflect on their practices, perhaps we can find ways to incorporate these lessons into our own lives, fostering a greater sense of connection, sustainability, and meaningful purpose. How might we honor the past while moving forward, carrying the lessons of simplicity and community into our modern world?